It's a new year, and if you're looking for the perfect way to fuel your goals, you're in the right place. We're thrilled to have a holistic nutritionist who's serving up healthy eating tips and her special snack that's known for being delicious and nutritious. Here to help us bite into a healthier new year is Kiki Magnuson. Hello, Kiki. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Okay, so Kiki, what are the key ingredients you recommend keeping on hand for quick, healthy meals?
So I like to have things in the pantry. So things like your oats, chia seeds, nuts and seeds, as well as like nut butters make it really fast and easy, as well as canned goods. In the fridge, having your pre-cut vegetables. You can do like veggie trays, as well as proteins like hard-boiled eggs, yogurts, and cottage cheese. And in the freezer, frozen stuff like your frozen vegetables and even meats to make it fast and easy to make quick meals.
Okay, I just made some hard-boiled eggs because I was like, I need like a quick snack, but not something unhealthy. So
There you go.
On the right track. Okay, so let's talk about meal prep. I do it. I enjoy doing it. I mean, I know sometimes it can be a little bit laborsome, but it works out for the rest of the week. But what are your best tips for keeping it simple and effective for people who might be trying it out for the first time?
So you don't necessarily have to cook meals. So my favorite way of prepping is actually doing the veggies first.
Okay.
Cutting them, washing them, and putting them in either glass containers or something with a lid.
Yeah.
Because when you're gonna make your meal, you can pull it out and quickly make it. So you can prep the actual ingredients as like your meal prepping, and then if you are that person that prefers to make it that night, if you like to make things in batch cooking, obviously another way of doing it is not for 7 days, but maybe breaking it up like you do for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like 3 to 2 days, and then on your one day that you have a little bit more time, you do to the weekend. A lot of people like thinking in short term versus long term because if they think 7 days, then it's like all this stuff and whelm.
Yeah.
But if you are thinking just a regular work week, you can, like, if you can make it to Wednesday, all you have to think about is just 2 more days to Friday.
Yeah. I like the idea of pre-chopping the veggies too. It's just kind of having the ingredients ready to go if you want to make them fresh that day.
Or even the meat. Like sometimes too, I'll buy in bulk and then I'll freeze it, but then I'll put it in the fridge just so it thaws out. And then when everything's ready to go, it's a game changer.
Okay, that's good to know. And you're going to show us how people can satisfy those sweet cravings. I have those all the time, especially at night. So without, though, risking getting rid of our health goals. So tell us what we're going to make today.
So we are making energy bites. So the ingredients that we have here are your overnight oats. I like to put them in a glass container. They last longer. Also, we're gonna have almond butter if you can buy at your local farmers markets, and also having them in glass containers. The plastic, because in our household it goes hot, cold a lot. The chemicals get seeped into the product. So having glass is more efficient and healthy. We've got chia seeds here, lots of fiber, as well as a little bit of protein. And then we have our dark chocolate. And so you want to look for products that are clean, don't have added ingredients in there. So this is literally cacao, which makes it with a nice sweet treat. And so in order to put everything together, all you need is 1 cup of your oats. So I'm going to place it in the bowl. You want to add the dry ingredients first. So I added just like a handful of dark chocolate and a tablespoon of your chia.
Love the chia.
So all you got to do is just start kind of mixing that up. And then we start to add the almond butter. If you're not an almond butter fan, you can also do peanut butter, cashew butter. There's all sorts
There's all butters out there for you to enjoy.
And essentially we start pouring it in. This is about 3/4 of a cup. It depends on how gooey you want your balls. But essentially you want to start stirring it first before you actually get your hands dirty.
All right, because the hands dirty part is kind of molding it right together.
Yes, and this is great for the whole family. I've had moms get their kids involved in making this. And getting the kids understanding like, hey, like, let's learn how to make some healthy snacks.
And such a quick snack. I mean, you see the ingredients that you're putting into it. So.
And so once like that, you start to just kind of grab it.
There we go. Look, she's getting her hands dirty for us. We appreciate you, Kiki. And then there's the finished result right there.
So essentially you start putting them together. They last about 3 or 4 days in the fridge. It could last up to a month in the freezer. So you can freeze them and stock them and then save them for later. They're a nice little touch. That way, if anybody needs to have them on hand.
Yeah, a
so yeah,
quick
if
snack.
you want to grab.
Yeah, I'll take one of these. And while I take one of these, I wanted to talk about what you have over here, the difference between fat and muscle, because sometimes there can be confusion around that. And you brought in
Yes.
a demonstration for that as well, too.
I did. So as a nutritionist, I get the misconception all the time. People think like, oh, I need to lose 30 pounds, 40 pounds. And they just think of the weight loss. They don't really think about the process that needs to go behind that.
Yeah.
Also, studies are showing that people that lose more muscle than they do fat are more susceptible to disease, like type 2 diabetes. They can't metabolize the blood sugars correctly, and they're weaker, and they're more prone to injury. And their metabolism slows down. So metabolism lives in the muscle.
And I can't, okay, how much does this weigh? What are we looking at right here?
We're looking at 5 pounds.
These are
of
both
each.
5 pounds.
Yes.
5 pounds of fat compared to 5 pounds of muscle.
Yes.
Wow. This
Yeah.
is.
And so as you can see, the volume.
Yeah.
So volume of fat is so much bigger than muscle. So
Yeah.
we all now, as in the medical system, we do know a little bit more about BMI and knowing that like the scale is helpful for the average person. But if someone is very active,
Yes.
like give yourself grace because you
like
might
that.
be building a lot of muscle. And even though you
Yeah.
may weigh a certain weight that you don't think is as ideal, but if you step on like the scale that I
scale,
have here,
they'll
it'll
know.
measure your body fat and your muscle mass and your body fat percentage.
I'm going to let our viewers know where they can go for more information about
Yeah.
Kiki. You can find out more by heading over to livingwellwithkiki.com.